You are watching Xirtus.
No. So like if you a lot of people I think just seen the still and didn't watch the video, but Elon straight up did the Nazi salute. Like
No, 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 no.
no
He
no no
didn't.
no 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 it's the Roman salute. Well, either he
Yeah, there's
wants
a huge difference. You know the difference, right? I'm not legally allowed to show you the difference,
okay
but
one.
the difference is that the Roman salute, which isn't really, there's not really a thing called the Roman salute. The Bellamy salute comes from your heart and goes out over from your heart. It's not like from your head, right? It comes out from your heart. That's the reason it's completely different. But okay.
So if he's signaling Rome, I think that means he wants us to slowly fade into obscurity. I don't think either
Well,
option.
there was no, again, it's not really the Roman salute. See, it's the Francis Bellamy salute, right?
And
Bellamy
that had
was he was
so
a Christian socialist.
are we claiming this had absolutely no influence on the Nazi salute? Is that what the
Correct.
claim is?
That's we're getting to that point. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Think of let's start with the difference. First off, Francis Julius Bellamy was a Christian Socialist Baptist minister. I believe he was also a Freemason, and he was known for writing the original version of the Pledge of Allegiance for the United States flag. Okay, it's the United States flag. So you know
Died
the story.
In 1931.
All right, these kids here. So this is them. They're showing it right before they do it.
Died right
Here
before
it is.
the major world wars, I think.
Look at it. This is how American kids everywhere used to pledge allegiance to the flag. They would put their hands on their hearts, and then they would put their hands out towards the flag. This is an American tradition. I don't know if I've got the picture somewhere here.
Oh, obviously, I'm not that well versed in American trivia. But why did it take them so long to develop such a pledge? If America is 1776 and 200 years later, they're thinking of this.
1892, you could say it's really 100 years after America didn't have a Pledge of Allegiance for the first 100 years because America wasn't fully social, like the World's Fair Athenian ideology hadn't been cemented and imprinted, right?
Yeah, we weren't quite socialist just yet.
No, not just that. We weren't quite fascist just yet, but we were becoming it. Americans at the time were Confederates, right? They had a Confederated Articles of Confederation until 1791. And after the federal government installed itself, it really wasn't until the 1860s when federalism, I mean, we're not calling it fascism, we're calling it federalism. But federalism is exactly that, right? It's this idea of creating this fascist state. And so they were showing that we had this goddess empire that is Columbia, the goddess Columbia in America. And eventually we said in 1942 that we were going to stop doing that because where's my page here? I think 1920s, 1930s, the Italian fascists started doing salutes and the Nazis had their own kind of salute, which was similar, to an extent. Although it comes from the mind instead of the heart. And I think that's an interesting distinction that's worth making. If your salute comes from your heart, I think it is different. And if you notice, Elon Musk does from the heart twice. So I'm just saying, like, it's not
the worst. The double Nazi. The double Nazi is the worst kind of Nazi.
In this case, it's null and void because does he even have a heart? In case of Elon Musk, it's not so clear.
Americans did this into the 20th century, into the 30s, into the 40s. It was 1942 that America finally starts in the middle of World War II to say we're going to differentiate ourselves from doing the hand forward thing, and we're going to put the hand on the heart instead of doing the hand forward thing. And they wanted to add under God, right? And this is the other sus thing, is that they said under God all of a sudden. The original Bellamy Pledge of Allegiance just says one nation indivisible with liberty and justice for all. And they've added one nation under God, right? Liberty, justice for all. So this whole thing is weird. We get rid of one thing, we add another, and it's all in some sort of reaction to say we're differentiating ourselves from Germany and Italy in the 40s.
Well,
so
on the
maybe
on the Nazi belt buckle, they had written Gott mit uns, which means God on our side. The first treaty that they did was with the Vatican. It's there's a lot of.
We have an eagle. They have an eagle. Like, what about look at this. Look at my passport. You see what's this bird holding? Let me pull up a little bigger.
What is the bird of prey holding?
Is that a fasces? Is that a fasces? The arrows held together.
It could be. All it has to for it to be a fasces, it just needs to be a bundle of rods that are joined by like a leather strap of some kind, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a fasces.
Don't let the sins of the U.S. ruin my pooping on Elon Musk here. No, it's
fair enough. Fair enough.
Now
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it's okay. No, it's how powerful is symbolism, and I think with all these right-wing politics, signing signing an order, declaring two genders. When you're really that passionate about symbolism, it means you give credence to it, and you actually take it seriously. And then you have Elon Musk, who essentially undermines that whole process by saying, "Oh, it's just a joke. It's just a Roman salute." It's like, well, how seriously can we take symbolism? How much is this really about drawing lines in the sand, or is it just about
it's not just a joke, and it's not even a Roman salute. Like, in fact, there's no evidence that the Romans ever actually did this sort of
I'm
salute.
sorry for calling it Roman salute.
Okay? I'm sorry for being such a ninny, but still, it is a sign of going back to tradition, because Americans used to do this thing, and he's returning to the ideas of the Bellamy salute and Pledge of Allegiance and American nationalism and American imperialism. So it's more about America than it is about Germany, right? And he's a Zionist. So I don't think that he's Jewish, right? So I don't think he's necessarily super into Germany to begin with, unless it's just from an aesthetic point of view. And even then, he's more into this like turtleneck thing anyway. He's like a West Berliner.
If the question is how serious do we take the symbolism, let's just assume you take it very seriously, of the utmost importance. And in a like Carlos Castaneda tensegrity /OA style, the movement itself could actually have very real ramifications in our regular physical world, right? So when they suppress that and they introduce the How to Be a Player Bill Bellamy salute, and they do away with that and they say under God, and now you cover your heart the entire time, again in that tensegrity way, in that Carlos Castaneda OA energy sort of release way. If you say everything and you're keeping your hand over your heart, then you're keeping it all towards yourself, and you're not giving it out to the rest of the world like Elon does, right? That motion seems like it would be incredibly different. It's almost a complete inversion. One of them keeps everything inside and to the individual, which is visible, right? That is you dividing yourself on your heart versus everyone's putting their heart out into the world. It is complete opposite. So if you do think that symbolism matters, then I think that the difference between these two salutes makes all the difference in the world.
I may be wrong. Maybe he's not Jewish. Is his name just Jewish because Elon is, Tree of Life or something, and he's not at all? I don't know. I thought he was. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. I thought he was Jewish. Well, maybe he's not. I don't know. I could be wrong, Nihadar. Let me know if anyone finds out if I missed some point there.
So you had recently started to learn about human design, and one of the tropes there is that supposedly around this time there would be a shift, if I recall correctly, from the locus of consciousness, from somewhere the third eye or whatever, down to the heart. So, and generally speaking, of course, a more heart-centered approach would do the world good. Let's hope that this is what it means, although it's very curious, of course, coming from Musk out of all individuals. But all right.